Okay, so imagine this. You have a study partner who never sleeps, knows pretty much everything, but sometimes they just make stuff up. Well, that's basically AI and education right now. And learning how to work with it, that's probably the most important skill you're not being taught in school. So, you know what? Let's fix that today.
I mean, let's be real. Think about the last paper you had to write. Did you use a tool to check your grammar? Or maybe to translate a really tricky phrase from a source you found? If you did, then congrats, you've already used AI. The thing is, it's already quietly weaving its way into the core toolkit for any modern student.
And that right there brings us to the big question. It's one thing to use a tool, but are you using it wisely? Because here's the deal. Using AI effectively isn't just about getting quick answers. It's really about learning how to ask the right questions, and maybe more importantly, how to challenge the info it gives you. Honestly, that's the skill that separates the good students from the great ones.
Right, so that skill, we're calling it AI awareness. And here's a great way to think about it. It's like learning to be the pilot of a plane, not just a passenger along for the ride. It's all about you staying in control, you know? You're the one steering this super powerful technology instead of just letting it take you wherever. And hey, let's be super clear about what AI awareness isn't. This isn't about you having to become a programmer or some kind of data scientist. Nope. It's about developing that critical judgment, that gut feeling, to know when AI is being a brilliant assistant and when it's being a really confident but totally clueless intern. So when you start using it with that kind of awareness, AI completely transforms. It goes from being a potential crush to being this incredibly powerful study assistant. Seriously, it's like having your own personal tutor on call 24/7. So let's break down what that actually looks like in practice.
Okay, so it really excels in 3 key areas. First up, it can explain things. If you're stuck on some crazy complex concept from physics class, AI can break it down for you in simple terms. Second, it can summarize. Are you drowning in a 50-page reading assignment? It can literally pull out the main arguments for you. And third, it can help you practice. It can whip up custom quizzes and flashcards to make sure you've actually got the material down cold.
And listen, this is probably the most important but you're going to hear today. It is absolutely crucial to understand its limits. This thing is not a magic 8-ball that's always right, not even close. It's a powerful tool for sure, but it's also a very, very fallible one. And knowing its weaknesses, well, that's what keeps you in the driver's seat of your own education. All right, so here's the core of it. Think of AI like this. It's like someone who has read every single book in the library but hasn't actually understood a single one. It is brilliant at recognizing patterns and mimicking how humans write and talk, but it doesn't actually know what it's saying. It's all just patterns. There's no real understanding or consciousness behind it.
And that, right there, is the core issue. Because it doesn't truly get the information, it can spit out answers that sound totally plausible, but are actually incomplete, way oversimplified, or sometimes just confidently and completely wrong. It's a master of mimicry, not meaning. So this is where you come in. To use AI really well, you have to make a shift in your thinking. You've got to go from being a passive consumer of information to being an active, critical thinker. You're the final filter. You are the one who decides what's true and what actually makes it into your final work.
Here's the perfect way to think about it. You're the boss. AI is your research assistant. Sure, it can do a lot of the heavy lifting, the grunt work, but you would never, ever let an assistant publish a final report without you reviewing it first, right? Of course not. The exact same rule applies here. You are always in charge of the final product. Okay, so here's your critical toolkit for making sure you stay in charge. First, ask clear, specific questions. Seriously, the better your prompt, the better the result you're going to get. Second, compare what it tells you with other reliable sources, like your textbook or your lecture notes. And probably most important of all, think critically. Just ask yourself, does this answer actually make sense? Does it pass a basic common sense test? So, what does this all boil down to for you? Well, developing this AI awareness isn't just about trying to get a better grade on your next paper. It's way bigger than that. It's about building a mindset that makes you future ready. We're talking about learning a skill that's going to be absolutely essential in pretty much every single career you can imagine. So let's break that mindset down into 4 simple but super powerful rules. 1. You are the thinker. 2. AI is the tool. 3. Always, and I mean always, verify. And finally, number 4, stay curious. Don't just use AI for the easy answers, use it to spark new, more interesting questions for yourself.
So I'll leave you with this one thought. We're now in a world where pretty much anyone can get an answer from an AI in seconds. So the most valuable skill isn't having the answer anymore, it's knowing how to ask the right questions. It's about being able to critically look at the information you get back. That's where the real learning and the real power truly lies.